Deep night shrouded the small town in a dark blanket. The narrow streets lined with old houses slowly sank into darkness. The wind whispered its mysterious stories, moving the shadows of the trees ominously. However, compared to what was happening in the abandoned mansion on the outskirts of the city, the outer darkness seemed like a favorable light. The mansion, known to the locals as the House of the Damned, stood alone, like a forgotten stone of time. Its facade, obscured by cobwebs, seemed to bear the burden of centuries. The moon through the clouds occasionally illuminated the black windows, like the eyes of ghosts watching everything that happened around them. The history of the House of the Damned was rooted in the past. Many years ago, in the era when the city was still in its infancy, a noble family of Grimms had lived here. However, their wealth and influence had its dark side. It was said that the Grimms practiced black rites and made deals with the devil to hold onto their power. After many mysterious disappearances and tragic events surrounding the family, the townspeople began to view the House of the Damned as a source of unhappiness and evil. Over time, the house was abandoned and left to fend for itself. No one dared to approach its dark corridors and forgotten rooms. However, the fate of the young Evans family will change this stereotype. Peter and Catherine Evans moved to Tunbridge in search of a new life and cheap accommodation. When they were offered the House of the Damned for a token price, they thought it was just an urban legend and decided to try to change their fate. The first night in the house was quiet. They settled into the antique bedroom, ignoring the glances of the old portraits hanging on the walls. However, as the clock forged ahead, faint whispers began to disturb the tranquility. Catherine awoke to a woman's voice that sounded like a call from the past. "Careful, Catherine," the voice whispered, "this house holds its secrets." Peter was convinced it was all a fantasy of his tired mind. He decided not to give in to the mystical stories and continue his night. However, as the clock struck midnight, they both heard heavy footsteps coming from the deepest corners of the house. The next few days were filled with strange happenings. Pictures changed their images, as if coming to life before the eyes of the observers. Shadows moved independently of the light, and the air was filled with an unknown odor that carried with it the spirit of the past. Peter and Catherine began to investigate the past of the House of the Damned. They discovered ancient scrolls with obscure rituals encased in old chests. All of these findings instilled fear and anxiety in them, but they did not give up. With each passing day, the ghosts of the past became more haunting. Shadows turned into ghosts and faint whispers became menacing warnings. Catherine began to see the ghosts of her ancestors, tormented by the sinister treaties made by the Grimms family. One day, when the moon shone brighter than usual, the House of the Damned came alive in its dark glory. The ghosts of the Grimms family arose in the hall, calling for accountability for their atrocities. The house shook as if with the wrath of the ages. Peter and Catherine realized that they must break this sinister alliance to free the house and save their family. Using ancient scrolls they found, they performed a purification ritual, invoking the forces of light and love. The whispers fell silent, the shadows vanished, and the ghosts faded into the light afterward. The House of the Damned became quiet and peaceful. Peter and Catherine decided to stay there, turning a place that had once been a source of terror into a haven for family and love. However, even as the windows were illuminated with light, there remained the unbearable mystery of what lurked in the dark corners of the House of the Damned.